Artificial intelligence demystified.
Okay, so picture this. You're in a vendor meeting. They're pitching their new AI solution for your service desk. And at some point, the guy says, very confidently, our platform uses a multi-agent architecture with a central orchestration layer. And everyone around the table is nodding, slowly, like they're listening to jazz and don't want to admit they're lost.
The jazz nod. I know it well.
And you can't ask, because you're the most senior person in the room.
Right, so you nod harder.
Exactly. So, what was he actually talking about?
Multi-agent systems. And by the end of this episode, you'll be the one making other people nod. Before we get there, we need one piece of scaffolding, the word orchestrator.
Okay.
An orchestrator is the controlling layer in an AI system. It decides which specialist AI agents to call, in what order, and what to do with the results they hand back. It doesn't do the actual work itself. It coordinates who does.
So it's like... No, wait, it's more like a project manager?
That's pretty close. Think of it like a general contractor on a building site. They don't lay the tiles or wire the electrics themselves. They know which trade to call, when to call them, and in what sequence. The plumber has to finish before the tiler shows up. The orchestrator is that contractor, pure coordination.
Got it. So the orchestrator is the one calling the shots.
Exactly. And hold on to that. Because multi-agent systems are simply what the orchestrator is coordinating. A whole team of separate AI agents, each doing one specific job. That's what we're unpacking next. So, a multi-agent system is a setup where several separate AI programs work together on a task. Each one handles a different part of the job, and they pass results between each other. Coordinated by that orchestrator we just talked about.
Right.
The key word is separate. These aren't features inside one AI. They're distinct agents, each with a narrow role. And here's where that general contractor analogy does the heavy lifting. Think about building a house. The contractor doesn't do the plumbing, the electrical, and the tiling themselves. They hire specialists. A plumber, an electrician, a tiler. Each of whom does their specific job and reports back. The contractor sequences the work, handles the dependencies, makes sure the plumber finishes before the tiler shows up. A multi-agent system works exactly the same way. The orchestrator is the general contractor. Each AI agent is a specialist trade. And the finished house only happens because they all work together in the right order.
Okay, that actually makes sense. So in that service desk pitch, triaging tickets, researching fixes, drafting responses. Those are all separate agents?
Exactly. One agent reads the ticket and classifies it. Another searches your knowledge base. Another drafts the response. Another decides whether to escalate. They're not one AI doing four things. They're four AI agents each doing one thing. And look, this part of the analogy doesn't hold perfectly. On a real building site, a tiler can look at the plumber's work and go, hang on, that's not right before they start. AI agents only know what they're explicitly passed. If one agent produces bad output, the next agent usually won't catch it the way a human tradesperson would. It just keeps building.
Huh. Okay, so here's my dumb question.
Go on.
If you've got multiple AI agents all working together, how do you actually know which one made the mistake when something goes wrong?
That is genuinely one of the hardest unsolved problems in multi-agent systems right now. And it's not a dumb question at all. It's the question most vendors hope you don't ask. Each agent only sees its own slice of the task, so errors can compound silently as outputs pass from one agent to the next. By the time you see a bad final result, the mistake might be 3 steps back. Good implementations build in logging at every single handoff point, but tracing the root cause is still largely a manual, time-consuming process. Any vendor who tells you debugging multi-agent systems is easy. They're either oversimplifying or they haven't run one in production.
I did not know it was that messy.
Most people don't, and they should.
Right. So let me try this. A multi-agent system it's where you've got multiple AI programs, each doing one specific job, and they hand work to each other to complete a bigger task, like a team instead of one person doing everything.
That's most of it. Here's how I'd sharpen it. A multi-agent system is where multiple separate AI programs each handle a specific part of a larger task and pass their work to each other, coordinated by a controlling layer called an orchestrator. Think of it as an AI team rather than a single AI doing everything. Useful for complex jobs, but harder to debug when something goes wrong.
That last bit. Harder to debug when something goes wrong. I'm writing that down.
That's the part that separates the people who've actually deployed one from the people who've just demoed one. Here's your scenario. A vendor is pitching an AI solution that will automate your IT service desk end to end. Triaging tickets, researching fixes, drafting responses, escalating edge cases, updating your ITSM tool. They call it a multi-agent system. You need to know. Is this a real production-ready architecture, or is it one chatbot wearing a very expensive suit?
So what's the one question I ask?
Tell me about a time a client's multi-agent deployment failed in production. And walk me through exactly how you diagnosed which agent was responsible.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
That's the point. A good vendor smiles. Because they've been through it, they learned from it, and they can tell you the story. A bad vendor pivots to a feature demo.
Next time someone in a meeting says this multi-agent architecture with a central orchestration layer, I'm not nodding. I'm asking about their logging.
Next episode, we're asking a question that sounds simple, but gets uncomfortable fast. Does AI actually remember you? Or is it just very good at pretending it does?
See you then.